Is there something about females that you wanted to know but could never figure out? Are you struggling with relationships? Do you feel like you're being taken advantage of by the women in your life? Do you want to know how to leverage the playing field to your favor? Well, did you know that the female mind and the female psyche are mysterious and unexplored regions like the dark web of the internet? For this reason, men need a method of decrypting or hacking the manipulative psyche or dark web of the female mind. Once a man has a deep understanding of true female nature, he will then be able to hack her programming.
Access granted.
The purpose of this book is to help grown males evolve into men so that they can treat the women in their lives accordingly.
You win.
Welcome everyone to another edition of the Red Pill Chauvinist Show. I'm your braggadocious, your very humble host, the Red Pill Chauvinist. Yeah, man, we back at it. You know, as you can see, I'm in a different locale. You probably could guess where I'm at. You heard? But again, appreciate y'all for joining me. I apologize for the wind. I am kind of, up there, penthouse style, but whatever. We're not here to talk about that. I'm out here, just turned 40. You know, I didn't come out here to celebrate my 40th, but let's just say I came out here to reflect. You know, think forward. You know, be present, focus. I read in the book that said basically that a male is not a man, doesn't become a man until he's about 40 years old. Not about, until he is 40. Now, when I read that, I was younger than 40, so initially when I first read that statement, I didn't understand it. But once I put some thought into it, I was like, yeah. I mean, I know I'm a man, but I feel like the mold hasn't hardened yet. I mean, I'm 40 now. The mold damn near hardened, if it's not hardened right now. You know what I mean? But there were certain things that I need to learn, some certain skills, certain things I need to add to my characteristic, to my character, that will make me a more solid man. You know, a more healthy man. When I say healthy, it's not just, just the physical. You know, it's mental, spiritual, all that stuff. So there was a few things that I could drop and tell you guys on what I mean by that, but I decided to just speak on 3 because I try not to be too long-winded. The first things that I learned, or that I realized that I have, that I'm grateful to have, and I feel that other young males need to know or need to have before becoming a man, and that's having emotional intelligence. Now, just so we're not confused on what I'm talking about, I'm going to give you the straight definition that I got from the dictionary. Emotional intelligence is the capacity to be aware of, control, and express one's emotions. The ability to handle interpersonal relationships judiciously and empathetically. All right, judiciously just means with good judgment. So, when it comes to emotional intelligence, number 1, you have to be aware of your own emotions. Emotions, especially when it comes to males, it's usually seen as, happy, sad, angry, stuff like that, right? Which is true. But another way a male's emotions are displayed is through ego. Yes, your ego is emotions. Because your ego doesn't think logically. Your ego doesn't have reason. So it's like your ego is the embodiment of your emotions. And a lot of dudes out here have a problem controlling their ego, which means they have a problem controlling their emotions, which means that they're not technically a man. Because as we said, shout out to Coach Red Pill, as he stated, A man is a grown male that can control his emotions, set his emotions aside, and use logic and reason to get to the best outcome. A lot of you dudes are not even aware of your emotions, meaning like you'll do something, you'll do an act, you'll react to something, and you won't even know why you're doing what you're doing, or you're not even realizing that you're reacting this way because this happened to you. The fuck? You don't even realize that what you're doing because you're just reacting. You're not aware of the emotion. You're not aware that you're going off of your emotion. So that's number one, man. You got to be aware of your emotion and why you do the things that you do. Once you become aware of your emotions, now you have to be able to control them. Like you have to be, example of that would be knowing what triggers you, knowing what triggers your emotion, knowing what triggers your anger, or whatever you want to call it, triggers your sadness. If you know, that right there, if somebody says this or does that, that's going to trigger my anger. That doesn't mean you tell them, yo, you better not do that or I'm going to get angry. Nah, bro. It's not the way that works. Once you're aware, now it's time to control. All right, that's going to trigger me. Let me set up X, Y, Z for myself. Bro, whether it could be something as elementary as, counting to 10, breathing exercises, whatever the case may be, bro. Whatever it takes for you to control your emotions, do that. Do it in a rational and logical way with reason. I mean, so it's aware of your emotions. We're talking about emotional intelligence, right? It's being aware of your emotions, why you do what you do, being aware of what does trigger you. It's controlling your emotions, which means you know what triggers you and you know what you need to do in order for you not to be triggered, or not to be triggered to an extent which is unreasonable. Understand? And the last thing when it comes to emotional intelligence that they spoke about is that you have to be able to express your emotions. As a man in this society, it's like we're raised and brought up to not show any emotions. The only emotion I guess you're allowed to show is maybe happiness, but even with that, they might be like, yo, why are you so happy for? Why are you always smiling for? What's you know what I mean? So males are not raised to express their emotions. So with that, it's on you to teach yourself how to express your emotions. You have to know how to use your words, fellas. I know the easiest things to use one of these. You know what I'm saying? Get the message across. I hear that, but we're in different times now. Nowadays, somebody could talk about your moms. You know what I mean? Spit in your direction, even though it don't hit you. Spit in your direction, and you know what I mean? Put the paws on them. You going to jail. Even though back in the day, that'd be like, yo, you earned that. You earned that ass whooping. Now, today, you got to use your words, okay? So you got to know how to, you have to be aware of your emotions, control your emotions, and lastly, you have to be able to express your emotions in a rational, logical way. I mean, when I say logical, it's like, if you're going to cry, bro, let it be like, see, I'm at a certain point. What I was gonna say was, I can see somebody crying over the death of a loved one. You know what I mean? That's for me. That's a logical reason to cry. I can see the reason for that. But I'm at a point now where I would say that's not even a reason to cry. But I'm a little different. You know what I mean? Emotional intelligence. So you got to be able to do these things, man. Have emotional intelligence, control it, aware, and be able to express it. And most importantly, another part of the definition that they spoke of was being able to have interpersonal relationships. That means relationship with other people, relationship between other people, where you use good judgment and empathy. Empathy meaning like you can put yourself in that person's shoes. Good judgment. The way I take that part of the definition is to say, don't make assumptions about the people you have personal relationships with. If you assume something about somebody, you can assume, but don't make that assumption into a fact. You understand? Because you could make an assumption like, yo, I think that dude is a kleptomaniac. Like, he steals a lot. Just by the way he dresses and the way he walks. Bro, you never heard of him accused of stealing anything. But when he comes over, you locking up all your stuff. You click, for the women, if I'm talking any women watching my videos, you clutching your purse when your friend is around checking to see. You know what I'm saying? So be logical in your in your dealings with people, your interpersonal relationships. Use logic and reason. So emotional intelligence is one of the things that I wanted you guys to know that you need to grasp. Put in your satchel. Put in your satchel on your journey to becoming a man. Yeah, this video's running a little bit too long, so I'm hit you on the next drop with the other points that I wanted to make on things that you need to put in your satchel on your journey to be a healthy man. With that being said, RPC. Yeah.
Is there something about females that you wanted to know but could never figure out? Are you struggling with relationships? Do you feel like you're being taken advantage of by the women in your life? Do you want to know how to leverage the playing field to your favor? Well, did you know that the female mind and the female psyche are mysterious and unexplored regions like the dark web of the internet? For this reason, men need a method of decrypting or hacking the manipulative psyche or dark web of the female mind. Once a man has a deep understanding of true female nature, he will then be able to hack her programming.
Access granted.
The purpose of this book is to help grown males evolve into men so that they can treat the women in their lives accordingly.
You win.